Check the gist, y'all. I'm saying you're back with your host, Christian Jackson. And today, we're gonna try a different format. I'm on stream right now, so it's a live version. This will still be uploaded to the YouTube. It's gonna be on the VOD on Twitch, all that. Twitch, check 30, 3C's 30, CHECCC 30. You feel me? If you get it, you get it. If you don't, that's on you. I don't even know how. Anyway, let's get started. So the Raiders, we got a game tonight against the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? And this season it's been dreadful. It's been dreadful. If you see me looking over here, it's just to the screen. And it's been dreadful, right? So coming into the season, you signed Pete Carroll, or you hired Pete Carroll, oldest head coach hired at the time in NFL history. Bring in Chip Kelly, Genty, a bunch of pieces. Geno Smith signed him to an extension. You have a positive outlook on the season. Let's say that. For sure we have a positive outlook. That's what I was thinking going into the season. And I'm telling my friends, and I'm just like, I'm not going to say this is our year, but we can compete this year, right? We can compete. And I guess really after the Patriots game, you realize it was a wrap. And you always hate, me personally, I always hate when teams are in no man's land. Every team included. Like, this is any sport, any team. And when that team is in no man's land, it's just like, what are we doing exactly? You feel me? And it's kind of just, we're not trying to win. Obviously, we're not trying to win. We're 2-7, possibly 2-8 after tonight against the Cowboys. Hopefully 2-8 after tonight against the Cowboys. We're not trying to win. But we're also not trying to lose. So every loss hits 10 times harder because you're not trying to be bad, but you just are not good at the game of football. And it's just like we have no outlook. We have no future. We have no now. We have no nothing. Like, we have literally nothing. So when you look at that, it leads you to a point where you almost don't know if you want to watch football. And it's not even just the Raiders, it's football in general. I don't want to watch the Chiefs because I'm going to be mad that Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback. I'm going to be mad when I'm watching the Eagles because I'm going to be mad at that defense, that isn't my defense. You feel me? I'm going to be mad at the Jaguars because their kicker is not our kicker. He's better. Every single facet of the game, there's 20 other teams that are better than us at every single facet of the game. And they talked about possibly firing Pete Carroll after this year, right? And Chip Kelly stepping in after the fact. And I genuinely can't even, put it to words. I can't even put it to words how unfortunate that would be. Unfortunate is the right word for that. Because I'm 19, and I've been a Raiders fan my entire life. The best season I saw was the 2016 season. Derek Carr balling out MVP year possibly, then goes out, braces fibula. 2021, we started hooping. John Gruden's finally getting this groove with Derek Carr, Henry Ruggs, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs. Defense is even looking a little better. And then boom, Dan Snyder throws the oop to the NFL for John Gruden. They punched that. John Gruden's out of there. About a week later, if that, I might be getting the timelines mixed up. Henry Ruggs goes and kills Tina Tintor and her dog. Unfortunately, tragic night. Awful situation, awful mistake. Henry Ruggs, I don't even know how he got 3 years. I think he'll be out next year. I don't even know how he got that. That should be... He was my favorite player at the time, too. I was literally going to get a Henry Ruggs jersey. The first jersey I ever asked for a Raiders player. Couldn't get the jersey, though, as you can see. Brock Bowers, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. Next game, 1 reception for 31 yards. What exactly are we doing? Who is calling the plays? It's really all I can say, right? What are we doing? That's about as simple as it can get, right? And Genty's cooked with his whole line. Every rush, he's getting hit at the first level 2, 3 times. 7 defenders coming at him. Miss. 2-yard gain. Hardest run of the day for a 2-yard gain. And it's constantly because the old line can't protect. Because we got our best old lineman playing out of position at guard. And Pete Carroll refuses, his son refuses to put him at his rightful position at center. Jackson Powers Johnson I'm talking about. But it is what it is. It's the Raiders. I've grown to love this team. I've grown to hate this team over my years. I'm going to continue loving and hating this team till the day I die. Unless they do something wild. Or until, at the end of the day, we're not going to be anything until Mark Davis is gone. You know what I'm saying? Bull Cup boy. Until he's gone, until he's out the league, until he's off this earth, we're not going to be anything. Game is game. I was always trying to say, like, I wanted Tom Brady to save us, do this and that. He can't save us. Nobody can save us. God is our only hope. So we on to the next one, right? Give me the gist. And basically, this is our segment where you can submit, I guess, problems with your life or just different prompts you want me to talk about on this podcast. It's going to be a link in the description. There's going to be a link in my Instagram, thereal.christian, THEREAL.Christian. That'll be in the I guess, link right there on my Instagram. So give me the gist. What's the most toxic trait from both genders? Do people grow more from experience or growth as an age? Thank you for this question. So when you look at what's the most toxic trait from both genders, and you can go a lot of different ways with this question, right? So first we can tackle the guys, right? So I kind of have to speak for myself at this point. Just, you know what I'm saying, my most toxic trait or just the most toxic trait that I see around, just, you know what I'm saying, the guys around me and stuff like that. It's probably just gonna be that drive and that me time. Like, what do you want to do with your life? What do you filling your me time with? You know what I'm saying? There's some dudes out here that can't be alone for themselves for too long. You know what I'm saying? They can't be alone with their thoughts. But then there's also dudes that just want to be out with the men, smoke weed, do this and that. And that's not really going to get you nowhere, right? So where's the drive? Where's the passion? Where's the discipline? That's going to be the most toxic trait from, you know what I'm saying, the guys. Because at the end of the day, that kind of drives your whole life. That kind of influences your whole life. Who do you want to have around you and the decisions you make? So if you got a dude where he got his priorities mixed up, you know what I'm saying, messed up, he's cooked. He's cooked. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Until he himself wakes up. And, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, that's kind of just whenever for any dude. Like, whenever he just decides to snap out of it and wake up and lock in. For women, though. And I feel like this is, it's glaring, bro. It's just their sense of self. You know what I'm saying? Their sense of self and accountability. Because at the end of the day, women, they're going to look out for themselves. They're going to make sure they're straight at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at a woman's position, she can marry into a man with power and money, but she can also go out and get her own stuff. She can go out and go her own job, her own platform, everything. She can go do it all herself. So a woman at the end of the day, she really drives that. She drives that boat. And when you're dealing with a woman that can't take accountability for herself, you know what I'm saying? When she does something wrong, she can't take accountability for that. You're shit out of luck. It's bro, and I kind of point to this instance with this other woman that I was messing with a while back, and she couldn't take accountability for anything. And anything that I might have done wrong, she just kept hitting on it, hammering that point to the point where it's like, I can't do anything about it because you're not acknowledging anything that you do wrong. I acknowledged something that I did wrong 2 weeks before in the past, and as we keep going on time and I'm still trying to give her a chance, I'm still trying to hear her out, because at the end of the day, I knew that this woman, she wasn't for me. She wasn't really looking out for me. She was only looking out for herself. Once again, those priorities, she only looking out for herself. She gonna get to her bread. So where does that leave me if she leave me? That's just kind of how I look at it. Like, the woman, she always gonna be there. But you gotta do you, because she gonna live her life for herself. So she can dump you one day, and she gonna go straight back to her life. What are you gonna do? What are you left with? So that's kind of how I see it. It kind of works hand in hand with the accountability and the sense of self. But yeah. And do people grow more from experience or growth as an age? And it's without a doubt experience. I learned more things just in, I say, like last summer than I have maybe in life. And that's kind of just from experience in life. You know what I'm saying? You go through different experiences in college. And when you do that, It kind of opens the door for certain things. It kind of opens your minds and your mentalities to certain things. And just growing from experience, like you have to go through things in order to make it. You know what I'm saying? Nino Pate, he had a lyric. What? You can't be hard as me. You ain't been, you know what I'm saying? You ain't been through enough as me. Essentially, you can't talk about or rap about certain things if you haven't been through it. You can't hold a conversation or do this and that when you haven't been through it. And there's certain things that you're not going to know until you go through it. So I'm not going to know how to deal with a manipulative woman until I deal with a manipulative woman. You could hear about it from your friends, from, you know what I'm saying, different people, but if you don't go through it yourself, you're not going to be able to navigate it for the next time. So just learning from learning from your experiences and not letting it shape you. Instead, actually, yes, let it shape you, but and better. So if you have a bad experience with a woman or, you know what I'm saying, with certain things like that, let it shape you. You got to learn from it and you have to strive to be better. You have to really put in the work because if you don't put in that work, who else going to put in the work for you? Nobody. Nobody, I'm not going to say nobody really cares, but nobody can put in that work for you. You can't help somebody if they don't want to help themselves. So, like I was kind of saying, you learn a lot in your first year of college. You know what I'm saying? That's just one sign. Um, of course, like you're older, but you're exposed. You're just exposed to more things. You're exposed to different experiences. You have to put yourself in different experiences. And I kind of want to appreciate you, not for real. OC. I was kind of talking about Matthew Stafford had a quote. He said, I grew up in Highland Park, Texas, which is one of the most privileged places in the country. He says he was not exposed to a lot of diversity. I was not educated on these issues. And I probably said a bunch of stupid things when I was young that I regret. But a big part of life is about looking inside yourself and trying to evolve as a person. So I kind of just wanted to let that, you know what I'm saying, sit with y'all for a second, right? And going back to growing from experience, right? There are certain things that you have to put yourself through, or I guess just go through in order to learn from it, right? So Matthew Stafford can't learn from or adjust how he reacts and treats certain people until he interacts with those people, right? So sometimes you have to make yourself uncomfortable. You have to expose yourself to certain issues and certain topics because at the end of the day, it's going to, you know what I'm saying, bring more to yourself. It's about looking inside yourself and trying to evolve as a person because every day you should be trying to get better, one step better, 1% better every day. And if you're not doing that, what are you really doing? You're kind of just living life. You're not living life, you're surviving because you're not growing, you're not trying to evolve, you're not trying to be better for not only yourself, but the people around you. And not only yourself, but your future self. You know, if you're looking for your future self, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? And what is it going to take for you to get there? What do you have to do on a daily basis to get there in 5 years or 10 years? You have to start making a change. You have to start changing your lifestyle, change up the way that you live. Because if you want to live a certain way, you have to change your habits. And certain people, smart people, rich people, they have habits that they built over years and time and experiences that taught them, oh yeah, I need to do this because they do that. And that worked for them. So I'm going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I see a dude, he's taking advantage of his time in college. You look at DDG, you look at Your Rage, stuff and like that. They took advantage of their time in college because that catapulted them into something after. You know what I'm saying? It's all just about how you want to live your life and what you want to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And the big takeaway is to just look inside. You have to be able to look inside yourself. You have to be able to look in that mirror. Are you that man that you see in the mirror? Are you that man that you see in the mirror? Because if you're not, how do you get to be that man that you see in the mirror, that you want to see in the mirror? Because I know some dudes, they don't like looking in that mirror, but you got to look in that mirror. And it's got to be more than just once a day, once a week. You have to continuously look in that mirror with your actions. You know what I'm saying? Start aligning your actions with your intentions. If you want to move a certain way, if you want certain people to, you know what I'm saying, look out for you, if you want to do this and that, you have to align your actions with your intentions. What do you want out of this life? And how do I get to that? So I had a call with my mans, and basically we kind of were talking about, you know what I'm saying, just life and people. And essentially we were kind of talking about drones, bro, because we was talking about how Trump got elected, bro. And that's still crazy to this day because I remember when I woke up that morning it felt like the purge was about to happen that night. Like it literally felt like my life, like it was never gonna be the same. And it's still, I already know it's not gonna be the same. But you look at that night and that day and those people that put him in that position. And it's just a bunch of drones. They can't think for themselves. Like they always got something else controlling them. Or they're living their life on accord of somebody else, something else, not for themselves. Right? And you look at social media not being real, bro. Social media is not real. And let's get into it, bro. Let's really get into it because I dropped a podcast last week, you know what I'm saying, with my man's Keon. And we had what's it called? We had one clip. We had a few clips go out. A few clips go out. And one of them kind of blew up, and it was kind of out of nowhere. It was super out of nowhere. Let me pull it up so you guys can see. All right, boom. I'm tweaked. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Wrong jump. There we go. So, boom, you see it. We gonna watch this jump.
Do you have any downsides to the dino hall? Because personally, one thing I dislike about every UMD dino hall is the fact that you might walk in there 5 minutes. By the time you eat, you leave out, you're smelling like food. It's crazy.
Bro, literally, all you gotta do is walk in. Like, I walked into the dining hall, I forgot what I did. I think I might have just got, like, some yogurt or something, and I left out. And, like, I was in there for all of 5 minutes, like you said. My dad comes to pick me up. Mind you, I put on cologne before I walked in. He was like, "You was cooking burgers?" And I was like, "No, I was not cooking burgers. Like, I walked into the dining hall. You feel me? It was that simple." So, boom, right? We get that clip. And if you've been in a dining hall, or specifically UMD, the UMD dining hall, the Y, hate them, like I'm saying, they hate them for no reason, right? So, you go to UMD, right? You got the Y. And basically the Y, I compare it to a hot box. You know what I'm saying? You smoke some weed, you in a car, you hop in a car, you're gonna smell like the weed, right? You know what I'm saying? You might smell like the weed an hour later, no matter what you do, right? You walk into a room, you walk into a food you're just supposed to be sitting down and eating, right? Of course, you're not thinking about, you know what I'm saying? I spray some cologne before I go in. Just go get my smoothie, I go get my yogurt. It doesn't matter, I'm in there for a matter of 5 minutes. I walk out. My hoodie smell like food. My hair smell like food. Everything smell like food. And that's not right. You know what I'm saying? That's not, you know what I'm saying? That's all I was pointing out. That's all we were pointing out was walking into a dining hall, the Y specifically. Because at the end of the day, I go to Towson. I don't go to Towson. I don't go to Towson. But I go up to Towson. You know what I'm saying? And I go in a dining hall for an hour or so, 30, 40 minutes. And I don't smell like food when I walk out. I smell pretty fine. I still smell like how I smelled before I went in. I don't know how they did that. But you go to Chick-fil-A. You're not going to smell like Chick-fil-A an hour after you walk out. You go to Panda Express or the food court. You're not going to smell like the food court after you walk out. It's just a Y. It's a hot box of food. And that was the point we were trying to make. And people were intentionally missing the point. That's what I'm saying. Fix the ventilation. They were intentionally missing the point, though. Let's go back and look at some of these comments, bro. So boom, you come here.
Do you have any downsides to the?
And we just going. You had to make a podcast about this. That's what a podcast is about. Talking about things in life. Aristotle. This is copy paste. I saw the same jump. This couldn't have been a phone call. Yes, it could have been a phone call. That's 10 times. That 10 times out of 10 podcasts could have been a phone call, but it's a podcast. At the end of the day, that's all a podcast is you talking to your friends, you talking to your sources, you talking to different people you know, people you want to connect with, people that have something to share. Y'all don't know all the experiences at UMD. So I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, I have to fill y'all in on something. They need license for podcast women. I don't know how many times I got to see the same comment. It's not funny, you know what I'm saying? Oh, import taxes. Can we make more expensive? It's the same thing. It gets to a point where y'all are drones and I'm peeping that. Go back to the Trump jump. You know what I'm saying? How did Trump get elected? He should get arrested. Get Trump gone. But like I'm saying, how did you get into UMD? Buddy, you don't go to UMD. I don't have to explain how I got into UMD, buddy. I'm here and I'm cooking. I'm here and I'm cooking. That's all. You know what I'm saying? The dining hall smells like food. Nobody said the dining hall wasn't supposed to smell like food. I'm not supposed to smell like food. You feel me? What culture is supposed to shock, please? That was funny. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know. Like this dude, he posted this joint that added the video to favorites. It's not banging, twin. They're not jacking your comment, bro. It's not banging. It's not banging. This junk is literally a building filled with food. We know you smelled it. You see that? You see that nose? It's literally like, you know what I'm saying? It's just rage bait. But when you kind of look at it, this dude, bro. I'm personally, who are you? Anyway, and then it's like you also see people like type shit, right? So I'm seeing people I'm knowing in the comments, and they're literally like hating on me. This one joke she had made a comment, and then she texted me the next day, like I didn't already see the comment yesterday. I see the comment. She gonna send me the video to my bro. I saw the video. I saw the comments. What are you sending me this for? Are you trying to make fun of me? Are you trying to bid me? You're supposed to be like, man, you on my fin. You on the spam. Like you're not where everybody else at, but you gonna act like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? She saying, people saying, I thought, you know what I'm saying, UMD people were smart, this and that. And if we gonna judge that off a 30-second podcast clip, then what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And it's stuff like that where you can't get too riled up. You can't get too wrapped up in to some shit that don't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. And that's where a lot of the nonchalant stuff comes in, where people might think you might be nonchalant because you just don't care. Certain stuff just does not matter at the end of the day. And you know that. I know that. They don't know that because they haven't peeped that. They haven't woken up on that yet. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. We appreciate the traction. Y'all gonna keep hating. Y'all gonna keep, you know what I'm saying, boosting my stuff up, commenting, liking, commenting, favoriting. Appreciate y'all. Sharing the video. Appreciate y'all. Because we not gonna stop at the end of the day. Like, we go to YouTube. What? When I say we not gonna stop. At the end of the day, we youngins, bro. We youngins, and we working, bro. Second podcast up. You know what I'm saying? This jump, I jacking. We kind of talked about this. We went into, you know what I'm saying, some detail about it. But at the end of the day, this podcast is supposed to be somewhere where people can go to just be them. You know what I'm saying? And you see how, like, people will tear that down so quickly. They will tear you just wanting to show people's platforms, give people a, you know what I'm saying, maybe a little outside shot that they can't see, or they, you know what I'm saying, they can't bring to themselves. So we're trying to be that platform, especially for people on campus, being a voice for black people on campus at a PWI, the University of Maryland. It's not the easiest thing to be a black student at a PWI, at the University of Maryland. It's not the easiest thing. But we got to talk about that and why it's not, and how we can make it easier, different stuff like that, just sharing our experiences. And that's so crazy, right? They want to be influencers. But they're also going to bring down other black influencers, because that makes sense. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? People going to hate regardless. That's why Tyler, Justin, Anthony Sharp. Lil Checc is one of the best artists of all time. And he just going to talk to you, bro, about life. They going to hate regardless. You obviously doing something right if they're hating. You know what I'm saying? Only people I've ever hated on this life, I would say, is probably Dylan Brooks, LeBron James. I can't say only, but Dylan Brooks, LeBron James. This is LeBron back in like 2016. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a Warriors fan. Kyrie got some of that action too, because Kyrie Glazers they would make up. Kyrie fans are like Trump supporters, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're gonna make a point that doesn't even make sense, but they're gonna make it make sense somehow, some way, by their low level of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Talk about how Kyrie's a better point guard than Steph Curry. We see what's going on now, bro. It's kind of just that point, you know what I'm saying? Some people are going to drag you down to their level of thinking. And you got to just say, you got to let them have it. You got to let them have it at the end of the day. I mean, yeah. It's really just that simple, bro. Just live your life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta free social media, bro. Because social media, it's not real at the end of the day. You got the same dudes telling you, pack it up, return the equipment, are the same dudes that are telling their mans to go buy some equipment. That's what I'm saying, bro. Stay you. They're telling their mans to go buy their equipment. They're telling their mans to go chase their dreams. But once it gets to some strangers on the internet, it's gonna change. It's not that. It's gonna be hate because they don't want you to succeed. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They want to have that podcast at the end of the day. They want to put in that work, but you got to put in the work for yourself. Now, boom. That's what I'm saying. Drones on drones on drones. And hurt people hurt people. But on to the next, bro. On to the next. Hurt people hurt people. OC on that. So just stay true to you, bro. Curry brand. I'm saying it's gone from Under Armour. So what's this mean for Steph? Like some people are talking about Curry's going to Nike. Curry's going to Nike. Curry's going to Jordan, Chinese company. It's Curry brand. Curry, we're global. We're global. It's Curry brand. You feel me? Curry brand. Reach out. I could be your first NIL athlete. I'm not an athlete. I am an athlete. I'm not an athlete though, if you know what I mean. But if you need to see some gameplay, if you need to know, because I really hoop just like Steph. I really hoop just like Steph. Your channel. I'm just gonna see. Just gonna see. Just gonna see. My dad texted me after I put that video up. He was saying, you know what I'm saying? He taught me how to shoot, hoop, all that. He's saying he's seeing a lot of mechanics and stuff that he didn't teach. I had to fix the jumper up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But you learn. Just like Steph, I learned. Reading right, you gotta look at your jumper to fix your jumper. You gotta look at their jumper to fix your jumper, you feel me? But Curry brand, leaving Under Armour, it's sad to see, bro. Because since the Curry 1 dropped, it's all I've been copping as basketball shoes. Curry 1, I had one pair of them. Curry 2, I had 3 pairs of Curry 2s. Curry 3s, I had 2 pairs of Curry 3s. Curry 4s, I had 2 pairs of Curry 4s. 1 pair of Curry 5s, 1 pair of Curry 6s, 1 pair of Curry 7s, the Sour Patch Kids. You know what I'm saying? The 8s, I had 2 pair of the 8s. What does a Curry 9 even look like? Oh, that is the I did want the Curry 9, just didn't get it. Curry 10, I know the Curry 10 was tough, I didn't get it though. Curry 10. Curry 10 was tough, I didn't get it. It would have been these. That's because it would have been these, but they dropped the Curry 2 double bangs, and those are my grills. Those are one of my grills because he hit them, Joe. February 27th. February 27th, 2016, OKC Thunder. If you know, you know. And that was my 10th birthday, so I don't know. Curry just kind of talks to me, bro. Like, their shares have fallen about 40% this year. You know what I'm saying? What? Now, we just going to cut that. What? Yeah. So, Curry brand, you know what I'm saying? It's just a whole, like, sales have fallen for UA for 8 straight quarters, and the shares have fallen about 40% this year. And when you look at how Steph Curry gets paid by UA, he gets paid off of his stocks. If the stocks keep falling, if he's not getting paid, I don't blame him. You know what I'm saying? He got a very long rap sheet with Under Armour, especially the Curry Series 7. Dudes are going to know that this is one of the best bot specials to ever drop. And he's leaving Curry off this, basically. He going to have the Curry 13 after. The Curry 13 looks pretty tough. I was saying, oh my gosh. Oh my fault. Y'all can't even see. Y'all can't even see. Y'all can't even see. Curry. Even the De'Aaron Fox, I will buy some De'Aaron Foxes just because it's Curry brand, But yeah, Curry, we gonna stick independent. We not going to no Under Armour. I mean, we not going to Nike. We not going to Jordan. We're staying Curry brand. All right, and that's we. You know what I'm saying? I am a part of Curry brand, whether he knows it or not, whether he wants to or not. I am a part of Curry brand. Um, Now Derek Queen, the young man is hoop. Yes, we, we, me, Curry brand, we. Anyway, Derek Queen, the young man is hooping. You know what I'm saying? The Pelicans cooked themselves. They're out of their first round pick for next year. You know what I'm saying, for 2026 coming up. But they could replenish some picks, right? So let's talk about it, right? So you got Derek Queen, you got Jeremiah Fears, you got Jordan Poole. You know what I'm saying? You got Derek Queen, you got Jeremiah Fears, you got Trey Murphy, Herb Jones. I like that. I like that core. Now we get Zion gone. Zion can't hoop. I'm not saying Zion can't hoop. He can't stay healthy. So get Zion gone, you know what I'm saying, replenishing picks. Hopefully we get, you know what I'm saying, his trade value up a little bit. But Derek Queen is special, bro. He's special. And when you look at the way that he hoops, you know what I'm saying, of course he's more like a hybrid big, like a, you know what I'm saying, like a Şengün, a Sabonis, maybe not as a banging as Sabonis, but he very high basketball IQ. His jumper's only going to get better as he grows. He's only going to get shiftier. He's only going to get stronger. He's only going to get better. He's Derek Queen, right? But you do want that traditional big next to him. You saw like at Juju Reese last year with Maryland, next to Derek Queen on the back lines. Because Derek Queen, you know what I'm saying, he gonna do everything else, but the rim protection, the blocking shots, you know what I'm saying, we want that real big. Now, you want to surround DQ with shooters, you know what I'm saying? He's very comfortable with that rock in his hands. You tell he wants that rock in his hands. We saw it in Maryland. He wanted that rock in his hands, came late game. You know what I'm saying? You look at Jacoby Gillespie, you look at Rodney Rice, you look at Selton Miguel. Although I will always have my gripes with Selton Miguel. He is a Selton Miguel. He could shoot that pill, though. He could shoot that pill. Rodney Rice, he could shoot that pill. He could create. Jacoby Gillespie, hooper. Rodney, hoopers. I would say my two favorite players in college basketball. Of course, because they was at Maryland, but they are genuine hoopers. I need to see them in that league. But you look what you can do when you surround DQ with shooters. And Juju Reese cannot shoot to save his life. Not a free throw, not a 15-foot jumper, and damn sure not a three-pointer. So that's just that. You feel me? I don't know if DQ can be a number one on the championship team. He could damn sure be that number two, especially if you got a high tier guard who knows what Jeremiah Fears is going to turn into. With DQ, big on the backside, shooters around, defenders around, it's going to get scary in New Orleans, especially if you deal off Zion, you deal off some of these other players, you know what I'm saying? Get them going, replenish some picks. And save who I got winning the chip. The Thunder look unbeatable, Slim. Like, man time, they look unbeatable. I don't know who's beating them. And we kind of do this every year. Like, last year was like the Celtics or the Nuggets, you know what I'm saying? And they're unbeatable. I'm not going to say I looked at the Thunder as like the Warriors last year. But when you look at the parallels, right, of what they have in their cores and their, you know what I'm saying, with the Warriors dynasty, you had Steph, you had Clay. So let's go Steph, Shea. You know what I'm saying? You got Clay, J-Dub, Chet, Draymond. You feel me? And you're always going to have that top two conversation can be interchangeable the way that you look at it. So Clay, you know what I'm saying, majority of people were always going to look at Clay as better than Draymond. But if you're a real Warriors fan, you're knowing that totem pole goes Steph, Dre, Clay. You feel me? Just off impact, just off what Draymond's doing on the defensive end, his switchability, his impact. And the Thunder, it's like they're replicating that tenfold, 10 times. You look at the picks that they have coming up this year, 7 from the Clippers right now or something like that. It's about 9 from the Jazz. The Jazz have to get 1-2-9 to keep their pick, so the Jazz are gonna keep that pick. I forgot who else they have, but the Thunder have about 6 picks this upcoming draft. Sam Presti's one of the best like GMs of all time in any sport. It's more than scary, bro. Because you look at with the CBA, right? And the way you have to build your teams, you're going to have those first, you know what I'm saying, top 2 guys, no question. You're going to be able to pay out maybe even that third. But once you get to, you know what I'm saying, the rest of the roster, especially once you get further down the line, if they become a dynasty, you're going to have to keep bringing these players that you're gonna have to rotate around, that they can do the same jobs though, and they can fill in, they can fit that role very easily. So the Thunder are just gonna be able to hoop, bro, for years to come, for years and years. As long as they stay healthy, they're gonna be OC. So the Thunder, they're gonna be my pick this year. I don't really see who's beating them, and they're only gonna get better. AJ Mitchell only gonna get better. J Dub only gonna get better. Shea only gonna get better. Chet only gonna get better. It's getting scary, bro. It's getting scary. Um, but it is what it is. Like, that's hoops. That's hoops. Warriors. We're currently slacking. We just beat the Pelicans last night. I'm not sure what mood he was on before the game. 7 threes in the first quarter. I'm not sure what mood he was on before the game. Or during the game. I don't know what mood he was on. 7 threes in the first quarter for Moses Moody. Moses Moody. 7 threes in the first quarter. And you know what I'm saying? Kuminga, he's obviously out. But we're just old, bro. And we see it every game, you know what I'm saying? Jimmy with the bag. Steph just looks older. And it really is sad to see. But you know what I'm saying? Game is game at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? We got to hoop. Kuminga, we got to show up. Will Richard, we got to show up. I'm for where we're at in our ages, we can compete. Steph can compete, and that's all I really care about. You don't want a Kobe situation where Steph is in the latter years of his career and they're the worst team in the NBA. A lot of people don't know this about me. I used to be a Lakers fan. It was really mainly because of Kobe. It was only because of Kobe, because I was like 6. I just loved Kobe. Like, he was just so tough. He was so hardcore. He was so just, I mean, he was Kobe. I don't really got to, you know what I'm saying, get too much into it. But yeah, like, genuinely just crazy, I'll say, bro. But you feel me? That's really the end of this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? Great talks. We're gonna be back next week for sure. I think I think I'm gonna switch between the stream format as well as the regular podcast format. Hopefully I'm gonna try to get out 2 of those a week. One on the stream, one on the podcast form. And then after that, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna be, you feel me? We gonna be cheese. We gonna be cheese. You feel me? But, you know what I'm saying? It was nice talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, always remember to check the gist. Boom.